Hello, friend. Hello, everybody else. Oh, you are our friends.
Yeah. Just kidding. I'm not really picking my teeth. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted
You might need to.
Spinach.
Broccoli.
Oh. I don't know. All right. I'm Blake.
I'm Ian.
And this is Awk Awe.
A podcast.
You know it.
Our podcast.
That's it.
Yours to watch and listen.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being a friend. Something about down the road and back again.
And we're still friends. Your heart is true.
Heart is true.
You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being a friend.
All right. Sorry, I don't know all the words to the Golden Girls theme song.
Yeah.
I feel like I've let myself down.
They're all gone now.
Probably some of you. Every single one of them.
Every one of them.
Oh,
Betty White was the last.
When did Blanche pass? Probably way long ago. I just didn't know it.
I can't even recall the exact year. Oh, okay, quick. Let's bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. We're positive. We're happy.
I am positive.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's up, bro?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot.
Kind of a lot. Yeah.
But nothing that I want to bring up here.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
I hope you guys understand. You probably got some stuff you don't want to share with us too, and that's why you're not calling the voicemail.
You guys don't want our advice.
Speaking of that,
we've only got a couple of those, but those aren't going to be played this week. Yeah, that's where you were going with it?
I thought they were.
Not the advice ones.
No, not the advice ones. Okay.
No. We're still going to play some, but these come from something else. The advice ones, totally honest, we're still building up a couple. We want you guys to have a good amount of content off of that.
And there were some technical difficulties that we're trying to work out before we get into those. We'll play some quick ones.
Yeah, so it was brought to our attention. Some of you may have noticed, and only one said something. Appreciate you. But the last time that we played the voicemails, we had a couple of crazy stories going on, and it turns out that you guys may not have been able to very clearly hear the stories, getting a little bit of a vocal fry thing in the mic with the speaker playing at the first time that we ever did it, it was pretty clear. That time, something was going on that it was just kind of frying everything a little bit. And if you turned it up enough, you'd hear everything. But then we would interject and we would be way too loud. And so it was just all over the place. So now I'm working on something that we talked about initially, which is going to be pulling the voicemails directly and putting them into the audio so that you guys can hear them clearly. And then we will not interject. And then we will talk about them, when it's done. So prior to the important ones that we have asked for, which is the advice, obviously crazy stories are still welcome. We're still getting a couple of those. So crazy stories, advice, whatever you guys want. We just like the engagement. We like to engage with you guys. It's fun.
Very fun. We love listening to your lovely voices. It's the equivalent of smooth velvety butter sliding in our eardrums.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah. So wild.
Before we get into that, let's remind everybody, like, subscribe, review, all the things.
Please.
We appreciate you.
We do. 5
stars.
It means a lot.
Written review on Apple.
Sure.
We like that.
It's fun.
Apple seems to like it too.
They do. They push it a little more when you get a few reviews on there.
Yeah.
So help us reach many others. Thank you.
Friends. Now let's get into the TikTok.
So this video will show very quickly what Ian said, so on and so forth. And
hey, little bitches, we got a new game for you.
Wow. He called you guys bitches. And I hope that you flame him in the comments for that.
I'm sorry.
Send it in. Call the voicemail and let them know just how upset you are. It's 770-727-1710.
Yep.
They're not going to call. It's okay.
All right.
As you can see, he called you guys little bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was apologetic, at least, but some people just...
It was. But, you know, when you...
The damage is done.
When you get called a little bitch, especially at the time that I posted this TikTok, which was probably... I think I put it up at like 7 or 8 in the morning. It was very early.
Yeah.
And some people felt that. And so they called in and they let Ian know how they felt about it. So we're going to play some of those.
How many?
And there's a few. I didn't keep count.
Damn. I really offended that many people?
There's a few. There's a few. But so we're going to take this time. We'll play these. And this will be kind of our test run for the main event of voicemails later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so first one.
Let me mentally prepare myself.
Yeah, please do. You're going to need it. Let me turn this all the way up for you.
Yo, I saw y'all on TikTok, bro. Called me a little bitch. Hey, from the bottom of my heart, you're a little bitch.
Understandable.
That's fair. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Tit for tat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's okay. Next.
Hey, that guy called me a bitch. I'm not very happy about it. Just letting your company know.
That's my favorite part.
Let your company know.
I'm letting your company know.
I'm fired. If they only knew.
Just letting your company know, man.
Yep.
That guy called me a little bitch. All right. That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, I actually saw that TikTok that you made, and I don't think that he was calling me a little bitch at all. I think he was talking to the voices in my head. And I agree, there are little bitches, so I appreciate that, and I hope y'all have a great day.
What a positive outlook on that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help him out on that.
Yeah.
They deserved it.
Yeah. Fuck the voices in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're telling him to call in and make that voicemail.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, this is our last one. So,
it's okay.
yeah, it wasn't a crazy amount. You didn't offend too many people.
But I offended enough.
Enough.
Hey, man, it's like 7 in the morning. I did not need that right now. That was unacceptable. Like, how could you? How fucking could you?
You made him cry.
That hurt me, man.
Yeah. I got a little teary-eyed on it as well.
Wow.
I know.
When you put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah. You get called a little bitch at
Oh,
7 in
God.
the morning. It's a damn shame.
I need to be a little bit more empathetic from now on.
Indeed. You should. Don't call people little bitches.
Yeah.
Or maybe do. Who cares?
I'm sorry. Okay. I think we're good.
You good? You you collected yourself? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Be strong. Be strong.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So there was that. Now we will reiterate, maybe that's the word, our request for you to call in for some advice.
Yes.
Awk Awe advice.
Yeah, so since we're not doing it this week, you have another week.
One more.
To put this all together, send in. Again, it doesn't have to be advice because, like I said, we've only gotten a couple of those. Doesn't seem like anybody either wants our advice or is too shy to call in about things that they would need advice for. One or the other.
Let's reword it. Let's say, call us and see what we would do in a situation.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Yeah, what would you do if...
That's kind of the advice. Like, again, like we've said in the past, we're not going to tell you how to do anything.
Yeah, because
it's more of just how we
don't know shit.
We would handle the situation if we were in your shoes.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So give us a call. It's 770-727-1710.
And here's the pretty numbers at the bottom of the screen for you to see it.
Put them down there somewhere. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think that's it for that?
I think that's it.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Just kidding. We're here still.
No. Bye.
So, there's been a lot of bad news here lately.
There's always bad news.
Yeah.
That's what sells.
Always. Yeah.
You turn on the news. I literally don't watch the news ever. And people wonder, like, oh, how do you know what's going on in the world? How do you know?
Facebook.
I mean, yeah, sure. But if it's important enough, then it will reach me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If something
that's how the algorithm does it.
Important is going on, then it'll reach me.
Always.
Outside of that, it's all fluff, negativity that what's the word I'm looking for? It
fear mongering.
Yeah, it's always bringing the worst out of people, scaring people, and I see them post about it on Facebook, and then next week they're not even talking about it. Like, that's the point. They're controlling everyone. And I'm not going to get in on the rabbit hole of the media controlling the people, but they do.
Seems to be a kind of common knowledge.
Yeah. So I used to keep up with everything in the world, right? And it's a very miserable existence. So I came across an interview with Aziz Ansari some years ago. And I don't even know what's going on with that dude anymore because he's probably still doing this. And I don't know if he's canceled. I don't know if I don't know what's going on with this guy.
I did hear something about him being canceled a good while ago.
Yeah, could be. Could be. But this one interview was useful. So I'm going to give him that. The interview was basically just about the fact that he decided to. Now, I will never take it this far, obviously, because we're here for you guys, right? But, and my business and everything else, I need social media. But he got away from social media, our company. He got away from social media, got rid of a cell phone, got rid of checking the news, does not look at anything, does not read anything, does not do any of that anymore. And he said he's much happier for it. He doesn't have the constant negativity of the news all in his face, bringing him down. He just lives his life. And then the interviewer was like, well, how do you know, like, if something important is going on in the world? Someone will tell me about it. And then if I choose to look into that topic further, then I will. But I'm not going to go week to week just hearing every little bullshit thing that they put in my face. Now, whether he's canceled or not the point.
Not sure if he cares.
With
that information.
I just know that one interview really put it in perspective for me that I don't need to listen to the news. I don't need to do anything. And for a while there, I did leave social media and everything like that. And then I brought it back, and now I use it for meaningful purposes. So, sort of. A lot of it's memes, not as meaningful, but it's making people laugh, so that's meaningful.
Meaningful.
Oh.
You appreciate that. I know you do.
Oh, gosh, David. So, yeah, that's always been my take on it, man. The news is just too negative because positivity just doesn't bring in the ratings. And from a business standpoint, I understand. But I hate negativity, man. I just can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So
what we have here, since we like to be your little corner of positivity, aside from when we're doing spooky and true crime stuff, that's not too positive, but that's besides the point.
It's
today,
not too positive.
Today,
It's fun.
we're reading you some positive news articles.
Yeah.
Something to uplift you. Something to make you feel good. Something that makes you happy. Makes you feel all bubbly inside. Got the butterflies in your stomach. Makes you want to look at your friend and say, hey, buddy, let's go out and frolic in the flowers.
Okay.
Do you accept that?
Absolutely. We can frolic in the flowers later if you wish.
Okay, let's do that.
Of course.
After this.
Absolutely. Right after.
All right.
All
Anyway.
right. Sounds good.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about what we're going to be reading these people.
It obviously has made you very positive.
Yeah.
That's great.
So the first one,
Yeah.
and this kind of touches on what you were talking about with Aziz Ansari.
Okay.
Title is Denmark to ban mobile phones in schools and after-school clubs.
Sure.
Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
That's
not
fine.
the whole article. I'm just going to give a little synopsis. We can talk about it.
Yeah. That's cool. Cool with me. I'm sure it's cool with them.
Yeah. They don't
you
want to
wanna
be
do.
bored.
Yeah, you read the news article for a little too long. They obviously want to keep you on the page a certain amount of time. I get it.
Exactly. Okay, let's look at the main point. Denmark is to ban mobile phones in schools and after-school clubs on the recommendation of a government commission that also found that children under 13 should not have their own smartphone or tablet.
Not going to lie, I'm pretty on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear
There
this.
just isn't a point.
No, not for little kids, especially not in school.
Right.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I'll give you one of those little, what are those things called? I forget what they're called. They're like little tiny phones that have like 4 buttons. And it like calls this person, this person, this person, or this person. And that's all it does. It cannot text. It cannot search things. It cannot do anything.
I feel like
it's for
I've heard of
emergency
that.
purposes only.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, so it doesn't matter. But
The commission said this increases the risk of children being exposed to, among other things, inappropriate comparison cultures, pressure to be available, and harmful content and features. I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
yeah, I get it.
they did the same thing in Australia recently. They banned a certain age group of kids from social media altogether.
Yeah.
I think mainly TikTok.
Eh.
I mean, it's good. I see this as a good thing as well.
Okay.
Like kids don't really need to be on phones like that. I mean, you got these tablets specifically for kids. Like
Sure.
Sebastian has one. All he sees is kids stuff on there.
Right.
Whereas you got these smartphones and all these other means of media where they can just look up whatever, see whatever,
Right.
have their brains rotted more than they already are.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because kids are actually really smart these days and they're watching all this crap.
See, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I would like interject here is that while I agree that children don't need phones readily available at all times,
Maybe
I'm not
smartphones.
all for removing them from the content that they watch, because whatever's happening, they're very smart and they're very advanced. Not everybody, obviously, but it is happening a lot because they're able to be exposed to more from the internet. And it doesn't have to be negative things that they're exposed to because, yeah, that's out there. But, like, there's so many positive things out there. I mean, by the time you're 10, you could probably have the same knowledge as a person with a college degree if you really wanted to. You know what I mean? So it's like that information is out there. And I wouldn't want to take them away from that. But I think that that's something that can be done in the homes. So I understand it not being at school, not being in the after-school programs. Be engaged. Be a part of what's going on because too many people want to be stuck on their phones and sucked into this life. And I feel like that's an after school thing. Like literally when you get
Not
home
in
after
the building
school.
of school.
Yeah, exactly. Not the extracurriculars, not all of this. When you get home, scrolling through things, whatever, at a certain age. But
You still got to limit the amount of time they're on the screen,
the
though.
screen time is what matters more to me.
Yeah.
The amount of information they can consume in a small amount of time these days is probably insurmountable. Like, so you don't need, 25 hours of screen time a week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what my screen time is per week, but I know I wouldn't want my kids to have that or more than that. You know what I mean? So,
because I did see one video of this lady comparing her child before he got a tablet to after he got a tablet. Before, he's engaged, he's playing outside, he doesn't backtalk the parents, he's a good little gentleman.
Yeah.
But apparently, after she got him the tablet, she did a little contrast video. He's screaming, throwing tantrums, saying he wants the tablet back. He's not spending any time outside.
And I understand that too, because everything, you have to watch what your kids are doing. And that's what that stems from, because there is a level of addiction that comes with electronics. Everything that we consume is made to bring us in. It's made to keep us there. It's made to further that engagement. It's part of it. We do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of it. But for kids, it's easier to get addicted to that because they don't know any better. They don't know how to pull themselves away. They haven't learned that yet.
Yeah.
And I think at some point with anybody with technology, you go through that at some point. I used to be that way with my computer when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So, like, no matter what, if you have a surplus usage of technology, you definitely can get an addiction to it, and you want to be on it, and you want to check in and do your things and whatever. That just comes from, like, you've got to, come to an agreement. What's acceptable to you for your child to have screen time wise? If it's none, cool, it's none, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's a couple hours a day, maybe, you give them 2 hours, scroll through to your heart's content. I'm taking it back in 2 hours. Who knows? Whatever. But that's on the parent. And they're going to shout, and they're going to cry because they don't have their tablet, whatever. You took their favorite toy away. That's what happened. This became their favorite thing, and you took it. So, they're going to throw temper tantrums. Deal with it. Move forward.
Don't give in.
That's it.
You're the parent.
You're the parent. And that is, you're the parent.
And I get it. You get a little you time while the kid's distracted by the screen. That's cool and all, but not too much.
No, there's people that are raising their kids on tablet that I know personally, and it's insane to watch. Insane.
Damn shame.
It is, but
to each their own.
Who am I? Yeah.
So that was positive news number one.
I don't know how positive that was.
It was
good. It had a positive intent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in schools.
It's just
keeping them
schools.
out of schools.
That's the thing. And I'm all for that. Keeping it out of the schools. There should be emergency uses and things of that nature. But we have gotten so accustomed to using cellular devices that you have to imagine, like, what did people do before cell phones? It worked.
For some of us, we don't even have to imagine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't have to imagine. We definitely know. And some of those people are in our group for who we reach.
Yeah.
So some of you know that there was a time before cell phones and everything worked just fine. You went to the front office, you had them call your mom, whatever. There were options. There still are options. None of this is gone. You're not completely reliant on your child having a cell phone. If you're worried about them, like, walking home or riding a bus, find a way to pick them up from school. Like, whatever you need, there is an option.
Yeah. So the next one.
What we got?
Owner of last video rental store in Pocatello saves portion. I think that's how you say it.
Sorry, Pocatello.
Yeah. Pocahontas saves portion of collection for Christina's Corner. This is Pocatello, Idaho, I believe. Yep, East Idaho News.
Okay.
So
this is a person that owned the final video rental store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did they do?
The The last video rental store in Pocatello will live on in a small way, only for its most passionate customers.
Okay.
Although Video Stop has ceased all rentals and is liquidating the majority of its collection, owner David Craning is keeping a small portion of movies and has placed them in a tucked-away corner of his adjacent K&B Quick Stop location. I'm guessing that's a gas station or some kind of convenience store.
Sounds like a gas station.
He's keeping these movies available to rent for only a small portion of his customer base, who have regularly come to the now closed video rental store.
Okay.
One of these customers is Christina Kavanaugh, who goes to Video Stop nearly every day with her mother, Tony Kavanaugh. Oh. For Christina, 35, who has Down syndrome and is mostly nonverbal, going to rent a movie has been vital to her routine for at least the last 15 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like he just saved it all and
put it in the gas station, small corner over here for those that are interested, and those that are interested are going to be his extreme regulars from the video rental store, and she would be one of them. That's awesome.
Yeah, apparently the mother, Tony, was talking about how there was another video rental store that they would go to, and they closed down.
Right.
And it really messed with her daughter.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that makes sense. Once you've created this routine for yourself, a lot of times that routine being broken is detrimental.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that this guy kept it going in a small way. That's cool.
Yeah, the mother was freaking out, thinking that she would have had to go through that again with her daughter, and these people were cool enough to
find a way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just good people doing good shit.
Yeah, in Idaho.
In Idaho.
Idaho.
Idaho?
I am. That's just kidding. I'm married. No. Yeah. I'm a baby hoe.
That's crazy.
My baby hoe.
Be a hoe.
In Idaho.
For who? What else we got?
Okay, so there's this last one. This already looks interesting to you, don't it? I'm going to send the pictures to you so they can see.
Please send the picture. We'll post this. This is the first thing that I'm seeing. He claims this is a positive news article here, but
it is. It's pretty cool, too.
Makes you question.
So apparently, mice perform first aid to revive their stricken companions.
What?
Yep. I got to read this first part just for the pun. It appears that heroism is not reserved for humans. Scientists have discovered that when one rodent finds another lying unconscious, it does not simply scurry away. It leaps into action, attempting what can only be described as mouse-to-mouse resuscitation. Yeah.
Nobody's clapping for that one.
It wasn't my joke.
It's not your joke.
So,
thank God. No, that's actually a good pun.
In a series of experiments, researchers observed mice apparently battling to revive stricken peers that had been drugged to knock them out. They pawed at them, licked them, and pulled their tongues aside to clear their airways, as you can see here. The behavior was not only effective, but strikingly reminiscent of human first aid protocols.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting. So mice be given CPR to some degree. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Oh, he's really pulling his tongue out of the way.
Yeah.
Like with his teeth. Oh.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Kind of seems like he's standing on the throat, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a mouse.
But how much weight can he really put on the throat with that little tiny paw, though?
When you're both the same size, I can't imagine their throats would take that much weight at all.
Probably not.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not... Seems dangerous, but they're just mice. They're trying to figure it out.
He's my friend.
Good job for figuring out CPR to some degree. That is just wild that it just keeps playing and pulling the tongue out. But yeah, just save that little snippet there because that looks crazy.
Let's see. So maybe more interesting than positive, but it's not bad news.
It's not bad news, and definitely some of these things were positive. I think we just took like negative terms. You see what they're doing to us, people? Mm-hmm. You've got to listen. You've got to pay attention.
You got to pay attention. Stay woke. Freaking snowflakes.
How did you mix both sides' terms into one phrase?
That's what I do.
Oh, that's so crazy.
I take one side, I take the other side, I bring them together because we're all family.
I don't know. I feel a lot like Malcolm in the Middle half the time.
Understandably so.
Oh. I still can't get over that. Shit's funny.
They do not know.
Yeah.
I wish they did.
Well, they're about to. All right. So
I played a joke on my wife. I told her I pooped my pants.
It's so childish, but it's so funny. The funniest part is that she texted him. It comes up on the screen, and I was just like, "Just tell her you shit your pants." And so he did. Well, first he sent it to me on accident, but then he sent it to her. And I think the funniest part to me was just her immediate response with, "What? Did you really?" There's the small part of her that believes you would.
Yep.
And
she still thinks I haven't cleared it up just yet.
Oh, yeah. You have not told her otherwise.
Yeah, I did. Blake was right here. He witnessed it.
Insane. Childish and immature, maybe.
Maybe.
But it's the little things, people. It's the little things. All right.
So obnoxious. That's what I am.
Well, no. That's, if anything, it was my idea. It's okay.
Oh, well.
Goodness gracious. That's okay. That's good. That's good stuff. Need that little laugh there.
Yeah, another dose of positivity.
A little positivity. All right. Okay. Try to get back on track here. So now, today, I wanted to give you guys a show recommendation. Now, I'm going to warn you, here we are towards the end of the episode. So I'm going to talk about a show.
I got to bring up the fact that this is where my drink is at. Normally, it's all the way down here.
Oh, my God. You're not thirsty today.
I'm not that thirsty.
Well, we still have this segment to go. We'll see where you're at the actual end of the episode when we do our rollout. But
maybe not, because I did have 3 cups of coffee before you showed up. I really have to pee. Maybe that's the reason I'm not really touching it that much.
Okay. Well, then maybe it'll stay close to there. I don't know.
Luckily, I only pooped my pants. I didn't pee.
So if you stick around, you'll see how much more of that gets drank. Maybe none. Who knows? Anyways.
Bottle half full.
So because positivity, guys. So I'm going to talk about a cool show. It's positive in the sense that you'll get to watch a cool show. It's not so positive what the show is about, though, I'll tell you that. Okay. So anyways, I just want to give you guys a heads up that we are towards the end of the episode here. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to give spoilers. If you have any plans of watching the show Cassandra on Netflix.
Cassandra.
Yes. If you have had any plans of watching that show, thought about it, added it to your watch list, whatever the case may be, this may be where you part from us because I'm going to give spoilers. I'm not going to give every spoiler away, but I do want to talk about the show, and some of that's going to spoil some things for you, maybe. You might be a person who doesn't want to hear anything about it before you watch it, and that's okay. I understand. So if you're heading out now, please like, subscribe, comment, rate, do all the things. Click that bell, and we'll see you later. If you're sticking around and you want to hear about this show and everything that I want to talk about it in, however I would word that, doesn't matter.
Maybe you enjoy spoilers.
Maybe you like spoilers. I know me personally, there are some spoilers I can deal with. If there's a crazy twist ending, don't tell me about it. But like if there's some crazy shit that happens or whatever, and you're like, it's part of the storyline, but it does spoil it a little bit, I don't care because I kind of want to see how it all happens. And from the beginning of this show, within like the first 2 episodes, you get to know pretty much everything that is happening, but they have convinced the mom that she's crazy. So you watch the entire series to see how it actually did happen this way. So anyways, the show is called Cassandra. Now we're going to get into it.
With a C?
If you're leaving, goodbye, my friends. Yes, with a C.
Okay.
So The way that I talk about things, I do apologize. I've got crazy ADHD. I'm not medicated for it, so I will likely bounce around. Hopefully you still enjoy.
He's unhinged.
So, anyways, the show is called Cassandra. Now, where it opens up is a lady with a baby sitting in the back seat of a car. They've just been in a car wreck. Car is in the tree. There's a guy laid out on the hood who has come through the windshield, and another car pulls up. The guy gets out of the car and is like, yo, what's going on? Are you guys okay? What happened here?
What a strange thing to be asking.
Yeah. Obviously, there was a wreck. But
Continue.
the lady, who is all hysterical and just completely beat up, and you're like, why is she so beat up? She's sitting in the back seat. Anyways, she says it was her. And it pans over to this very old school screen for a face, but almost Jetsons looking robot. Not like the maid, but like this looks like something from the Jetsons. Like, I don't know how to describe that. So it's just this like tower red body with arms with like these kind of robot hands, you know, her hands can change out. It's cool. Whatever. Her face is a screen, but it's off. She's off. Whatever.
Strange.
She's just standing in the middle of the street, and the lady says it was her. How'd she cause an accident? So we fast forward.
They didn't want to run over the robot.
Yeah, right. We had to swerve. So fast forward to a family is moving into a new home out in the middle of nowhere, sort of. And they're going through this house, and there are these giant monitors and TVs everywhere. And so they're going all over the place, looking around. They go downstairs. So it's a mom, a dad, a young daughter, and a teenage son. Okay?
Typical family.
Very typical family. The other heads up is that this is definitely recorded in another country. I want to say it was like probably Swedish or something like that. I did not double check that part. My apologies if it wasn't, but it is dubbed, or you have to watch subtitles, whatever. The dubbed wasn't that bad to me, so I liked it. So anyways, back to the family. The son goes downstairs, finds this like crazy old school server room, like tapes, buttons, everything. Like this looks like you could set off a nuclear bomb in it. You know what I mean? Like it's just that old school computer type of room that takes up like wall to wall everything.
I'm imagining that hatch in Lost.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, okay. Kinda. Right. So he finds this big lever, flips it on. He's like, oh, I don't know what that was. All right, cool. He leaves, and you see a red light start to blink. And you're like, oh, system's on. Then they're touring the rest of the house. And they stumble across that robot that was in the street. Just laying there off. Everybody gets settled into their new house. They move some stuff around. They go to bed. Well, the robot wakes up and says, Peter? It's not Peter, by the way. But it makes you question, like, maybe she's talking to the family that it was before. So this is a whole smart house.
Yeah.
With a robot that does... His wife said, you lying. All right. So this is a whole smart house with a robot that does everything for you. She will do your laundry. She'll cook for you. Like I said, her hands can change out so she can like set up like a knife. She can cut up things, whatever. Like she's got all kinds of attachments. She can blend shit, whatever. Like she can do it all. She'll cook for you, clean for you, mow the lawn, change the temperature in the pool for you, whatever. She's got all kinds of features.
Dope.
Very cool. The problem is that, spoiler alert, she's crazy as hell.
The robot is?
The robot is, yeah. And you don't know it quite at first, right? So you're going through, and she's just like trying to be helpful and like introducing herself, and the mom's kind of put off. She's like, this is really weird, guys. Like, should we turn her back off? Like, this is odd. But the daughter really likes the idea of having a robot friend. And so she's like, okay, we'll keep it on, whatever. And so they're going through, and let's see, fast forward just a bit. The son's starting school, the daughter's starting school. They're both, son's in a pretty normal high school. The girl's gotten into a nice school, like for, I don't know if it would be for like gifted children, but like there's a good program with it and everything like that. And they struggled to find this one, right? So the mom stays at home. The dad writes novels. So he's a very well-off author. And he's somewhat known, but as authors are, you rarely know what they look like. So, Yeah. So she's trying to help out all these things, but you can tell that she's got something against the wife. Right? And so she goes through, and the wife is swimming. Everybody's gone to school, gone to work or do research or whatever. She's at home. She's swimming in the pool, and the robot is outside mowing the grass. And she sees a rock and very carefully runs over it to shoot that rock through the window and hit the wife with the rock. Obviously, this looks like an accident, but you know that it's not. So she's trying to convince her husband, like, who asked her to mow the lawn? And he was like, well, I did ask her to mow the lawn. And she's like, okay, well, I guess, accidents happen, whatever.
Yeah.
So then she stumbles upon, fast forward past dinner and stuff like that, she stumbles upon some photos. And she loads them all up into this really old school, like, projector that they had in the house. And so she slips all of them in, and she's just clicking through, and it's Cassandra, but it's a lady. And there's a husband there, there's a son there, and she's just clicking through, and it's all these photos of Cassandra. And you're like, yo, this robot used to be an actual woman. So, like, why is she a robot? And you could tell that it's like, they're in today's time, this was probably in the 70s, 60s or 70s, something like that.
The picture she's looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they go through, and she's looking at all of them, and I want to say she just went to bed, and Cassandra comes over, knocks over the wine, and burns all the photos so that there's no evidence of that. So the projector goes up in flames, and they have to wake up, get the kids out. The house is on fire and shit. They put it out, and she's like, yo, Cassandra did this. Like, you guys should have seen these photos. It was her. And so they're, of course, just like, oh, that's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. So she's building a bond with the kids a little bit. She's specifically building a bond with the young daughter because she's the most, like, latched to her. And so it seems like her parents don't have any time for her. She's trying to, like, audition for this play and stuff like that. And Cassandra is like, oh, okay, well, sing for me. We'll sing together, blah, blah, blah. And so she's kind of taking up this very motherly role with the daughter. I will fast forward into them having a flashback to Cassandra's life. So Cassandra is living a very normal life. Same house. She has a son who plays soccer. The dad hates the son. Like,
damn.
Yeah, the dad, like, he will not show up for anything. Son has a soccer game. He's not going to be there. My son's on the bench. What am I going to show up for? Like, just not supportive in the least bit.
Fucking dick.
Very, very dickhead shit.
Yeah.
And so the son, all he's got is his mom. And he's just like, I want to quit soccer. Like, dad doesn't even come to my games. And, of course, dad would be irritated if he quit. You know what I mean? So it's just like this back and forth of, like, he won't even show up to my games, but I can't quit. Like, this is bullshit. Fast forward a bit more. They're having their normal life here in regular, like, current time, right?
Yeah.
She's steadily having more and more shit happen from Cassandra. And she's trying to convince her husband, like, she is fucking doing this. She is out to get me. Like, she is threatening. Like, something is wrong. At one point, she has, like, a panic attack, or she's talking on the phone about having a panic attack because she got locked in a closet. And so Cassandra calls her into the kitchen and is like, hey, I can't reach this spice because of these damn arms here, blah, blah, blah. Could you grab that for me? She walks into the closet, shuts it, locks it, because she's got locks to every door, like she can do whatever. So she locks her in there. So she's freaking out. Husband comes home, hears her freaking out. She's been freaking out for who knows how long. And he opens the door very easily, obviously now. And it's
Has to be expected.
what happened? And she's like, she locked me in here. He's not buying that because he opened the door just fine.
That's got to be so frustrating.
Oh man, you watch this show and she is constantly trying to convince people that this fucking robot is doing shit to her, and nobody will listen. Like the kids are like, I don't know, she's so great, but the husband's like, come on, babe, like, because here's where it comes into play. She had a sister. The whole reason they moved to this house, she had a sister who was a little mentally unwell.
The wife had a sister. Gotcha.
She was a little mentally unwell. And she herself in the previous home that they lived in. So she was staying with them for an extended period of time. And
Damn, the wife's going through it.
yeah. And so her sister did that. But her sister was mentally unwell and she wasn't taking her medication the way she was supposed to. And so now the husband's kind of like, well, does it run in the family? And it's just like, bro, you are not going to sit here. I'm telling you, this fucking robot is doing shit. So nobody will listen. So we cut back to Cassandra in the previous time period. And she has convinced the husband.
Her husband.
Now, first
Cassandra's husband.
Cassandra's husband. Yeah, we're going back to her time. Cassandra's husband, one, we're pretty sure at this point he's cheating on her. Right? Now,
Not coming to the kids' games. He's
not going to the kids' games. Now, she's also pregnant. So there's like a little baby supposed to be coming, whatever. And he's agreed to come to this soccer game. The lady and her husband, who he's supposedly having an affair with, or you assume so, show up. At that point, you know it. She don't know it just yet, but she has her suspicions because he wants the baby to be a boy, named it like Thomas or some shit. This couple shows up, baby's name, Thomas. So anyways, he is supposed to show up to this game. He showed up. He's watching, whatever. The mom, because he showed up, has convinced the coach, get him off the bench. His dad is here to see him play. Please, get him off the bench. The reality is this kid sucks at soccer. Like, that's just facts. That's why he gets benched. So
hate to see it.
He gets completely fucked over on the field. Ball goes right by. Team loses because of him. Yeah, so the dad watches the most devastating play ever because of his son. Horrible. So
Why is he even on the team?
Yeah, exactly.
It
Because
makes you
dad
wonder.
believes he has to be a part of something.
I guess.
Yeah. So
Something else.
a couple of the guys come up to him and they're like, look, man, everybody has tough games, whatever. Like, you should come party with us. We're going to blow off some steam. And he was like, nah, I'm okay, basically. Like, he doesn't really fit in with these guys. He just said, fuck it. The mom was like, you are going to go in there and you're going to have fun and you're going to drink and you're going to do whatever you want because you deserve that. Blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, okay, you know what? You're right. Thanks, Mom. Goes off, shows up that night. They beat the fuck out of this boy.
I saw that coming.
Yeah. Easy to see that one coming. And I'm talking like, I don't know if they were burning cigars out on his back. Like, they beat the shit out of this boy. He's got wounds all over.
Damn.
So she was like, how did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Mom convinces him, don't tell anybody. Don't talk about it. Because then you're just going to be known. You're not going to be known as the guy who lost a game. you're going to be known as the guy who got his ass beat for losing a game for the rest of your life. Isn't that kid that happened to? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Convinces him to keep it a secret. Like fucking tell somebody, bro.
Right. Don't keep that shit.
She's so concerned with their image. That's what it comes down to. She's so concerned with their image, and it's disgusting. But whatever. She's also just trying to be a good mom, I guess. So she goes through, in a way, kind of. So, but it's also the 60s or 70s, so you also kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like,
coming out of the silent generation.
Yeah, that's just like, that was just how they handled things back then. You cared way more about what people thought about you, and you had to keep up with the Joneses, and it was just a wreck.
Yeah.
But anyways, so fast forward a little bit more. I'll stick to Cassandra's storyline here. Son comes home from school the next day, and she's called him down for dinner. She's like, where is he? Goes up to his room, not there. Comes downstairs. Oh, he's over here somewhere, whatever. And she's like, hey, Peter, what are you doing?
Peter.
Yep. So he says, he turns around. Homeboy's covered with blood, holding a gun in his hand.
Damn.
And he said, I took care of it, Mom. I took care of it. They'll never talk about me. I took care of everything. And he's just kind of like fucking unhinged and losing it, bro. And she's like, oh, okay.
What'd you do, buddy?
Give me that. And
oh, man.
She might have been a shit mom for trying to keep him silent on the matter, thus leading to him feeling the need to shoot these kids. But she goes to where they were, cleans up his mess. She gathers up, and this was crazy to me, she gathered up with tweezers every bullet out of their bodies.
Wow.
Gathered all that up, set it all up to look however in this little shed shack that they party in, and then lit the place on fire and dipped.
Wow.
Crazy. Got rid of all the evidence. It looks like these kids were just having a crazy time partying. Some fire went off and they got trapped inside. Like, done. Nobody's the wiser, right? So we come back to the family, and the boy, their teenage son, has a guy over who he's trying to cultivate a relationship with. He's the new kid in school, and this guy, he's been helping him with his homework and stuff like that. They've been hanging out, and they're kind of realizing that they've got mutual feelings for each other. So they had a little basketball scrimmage or whatever, go to the locker rooms, and everybody's kind of dipped out. They're about to kiss each other, and a guy walks in. And so this kid punches him in the mouth like, yo, you trying to come on to me, bro? What's happening? Blah, blah, blah. Just shitty, bro. Just shitty.
Poor little
So he comes in, checks in on him afterwards, and Cassandra overhears him talking about like, yo, you punched me. Like, that, not cool. Like, I know that you're keeping all this under wraps, but I don't. And if you're going to be with me, you can be with me. But if you're not, don't. Like, there's no point in this. Like, figure it out for yourself. That's it. And so he goes to leave. She follows him up the road a bit, and she's like, you need to stay away from my son. And you're just like, whoa.
My son.
Cassandra trying to take over, bro. She's trying to become the mom. So fast forward back to Cassandra's story, and she's pretty convinced that the husband's cheating, but she's trying to keep up appearances, so she doesn't really care. She's got a baby, blah, blah, blah. And somehow it is shown that she lost the baby, didn't have the baby, because all we know in these stories is Peter. And the pictures of her being pregnant is Peter being real young. Peter's in high school. He's almost a grown man. So, like, there's no other kid around.
Those will go into these little flashbacks all throughout the series. That's
Constantly back and forth.
part of the episodes.
What I will say is the husband worked for a science company.
Yeah.
Right? And they're leading all kinds of research. They've got a way that sonograms can see the whole baby, which we have now. but they didn't have that back then, right? And so they're using radiation to do this, and the like high levels of it. And so her stomach just looks fucking crazy, like glowing and like, oh, it's wild. And so she's talking about how painful it feels and all this and that. Back in our time, Cassandra is constantly being shown to cause a nuisance for the wife. And she's like, look, I'll shut myself down. If everybody feels this way, I'll shut myself down. It's fine. So she shuts herself down. Oh, prior to that, sorry, there's one other thing that happens right before this. I told you I'll jump around. Cassandra's trying to help her sing for the thing that she's trying to get into, the young daughter, right? And there's another girl that the young daughter knows is going to get it. Like, she just knows. Like, of course she is.
You see where that's going.
I thought I did.
Oh.
So you cut to the girl trying out. And you see the girl who's supposedly going to get it all. Little twerp. Nobody cares about her anyways.
Of course.
But she's singing. She's got her backpack. And she's just bouncing around and singing. Mm-hmm. It's real goofy.
You know she's going to get it. You absolutely know it. She's got the energy. She's got it.
And then she stops. She opens her backpack. She pulls out a gun. It's like, what? Bro, she's a little child. Like, this is crazy, but this shit happens. This shit does happen. She's a little child, though. She just pulls out this gun. Oh. She fires it. Nobody got hit, thankfully. So the parents go and beg that she can stay in the school. They don't know how she found this, blah, blah, blah. Turns out it was the gun that was used on the boys. And it had been put under some baseboards under the bed. Cassandra told her where to go and find it.
Damn.
Then Cassandra convinced her, if you tell anybody that I told you, like, they're going to shut me down, they're going to keep me away from you, blah, blah, blah. And so the mom knows Cassandra had to have told her. There's no other explanation. And she's like, no, I was just playing around under there and I found it, blah, blah, blah. She won't rat her out. Now we fast forward to the mom's just over all of this shit. And Cassandra agrees to turn herself off for a bit. So everybody thinks Cassandra is off. They're living their day-to-day lives. Cassandra's not coming on and like singing anymore. Nothing's happening. We're good. Everybody goes off to school, whatever. The daughter has a play date with the girl that she's supposed to have like shot, I guess. Her mom really loves the dude's books. So they've agreed that she can like sit and talk with him and ask him about his books and his novels, the dad. And her daughter will come over and play with their daughter. And that's their trade-off. It was super weird. Yeah. But I was like, okay, whatever works.
Parents, man.
They're just trying to do what's best for their daughter, whatever. And so they end up playing a game of hide and seek. And so the young daughter is hiding in a basket of clothes. And just outside, she can see one of the TVs on the wall kind of flicker. She's like, oh no. She's like, nah, that's crazy. Then you have the other girl. She decides to hide in an oven. What sense does this make? She hides in the oven, and the mom comes out and is trying to find everybody. And she pulls the rag from the oven, sees her in the window, and says, What are you doing in there? You crazy kid. Goes to open it. Doesn't open. Cassandra's locked it. Now it turns on. And when I tell you that rough. This scene made me so uncomfortable because she's just like trapped in this tiny little oven and the heat is on and it's steadily like you can see like her pantyhose like splitting.
Oh God.
And her face starting to bubble. And I was like, oh my God, bro. She ended up with like burns all over her body, but she lived.
Yeah, it's saying that with kids.
Yeah. And so now it looks like the mom trapped this child in an oven. They send her to a psych ward. So now Cassandra turns herself back on. And she convinces everybody. Now, the son has seen enough that he's like, yo, I think Cassandra might be fucked. And dude told me about her calling me her son. Like, something's wrong here. The daughter was like, I saw Cassandra come on right before she was trapped in the oven. So now even she's convinced, and she was the main advocate. The husband is the one steadily like, you guys, come on, man. You guys are crazy. Like, this doesn't happen. Come on.
Why do they make us dads look like this?
I don't know. Because let me tell you, I would have been out way earlier. I'm listening to my wife, bro. Tell me that a robot's fucking with you. I got you. We're out of here. It's fine.
Done
deal. Cassandra takes the entire family hostage. Yeah. Cuts the dad's finger off. Now he sees there's a problem. The mom.
All it takes is a finger.
Yeah, that's it. And he's like, oh, shit.
I can't write anymore.
So for weeks, right, mom is trapped in the psych ward. Christmas passes, all kinds of shit. And they have been locked into each of their own individual rooms. And she'll order them food and shit like that, but that's it. So they're all taken hostage. The mom breaks out because the daughter had a secret cell phone that nobody knew about. She's like telling her something's wrong. Cassandra catches her, makes her call her, tell her nothing's wrong, so on and so forth. She's like, no, I got to get the fuck out of here. Something is wrong. It's got to be. So she goes. So she breaks in. And the husband is being told by Cassandra, look, if you don't want anything to happen to your kids, you're going to have to kill your wife. Because I'm not going to do it. They would never forgive me. They'll never look at me.
What can she do with those little Lego hands?
Should change them over to a knife.
I guess.
So anyways, she says they'll never trust me. They'll never trust me as their mom if I kill their mom. So you have to do it. And then I will be there to console them. And he says, okay, because you're going to hurt my kids. So he just says, okay. So they get into it. They're fighting and all this other shit. Then it flashes back to finding out how Cassandra became Cassandra.
Robot Cassandra.
Yep. And this is pretty much where I'll leave it off, because this is like the end of the episode, everything, or the end of the series, everything, you know, all's well that ends well type shit. But Cassandra finds out that she has cancer. How could she have cancer? From all that fucking radiation.
To see the baby.
To see the baby. So it was all experimental, all fucked. And she's like, I got to do something. I got to be here for Peter. I got to do something. She says, you've been working on some kind of research that you said could make you immortal, basically. So he comes, he sets up all these computers in their home, sets up everything, basically to turn her into his own personal helper, assistant, whatever. That's how we find out that the guy that helped with the sonogram or whatever made sure that the switch that they think is the main switch does not work. So she can turn herself on and off whenever she wants to. Then we find out she did have a kid.
The same one that they were doing all that testing for. Or the screening.
And so the husband is thinking Cassandra's crazy. He wants to leave for his new girl. He finally got with the girl he was cheating with, had the baby with, whatever.
Thomas
wants to get with them. And he wants to take Peter. And she says, look, I know shit's been rough, but just take our daughter with you. You have to.
Yeah.
And she looks crazy. Like, she looks wild. Mutated, right? And he's against it. They dip.
Yeah.
And the wife ends up finding the just mummified version of their daughter in a room. And I guess she like comes to terms with this and like agrees to completely shut herself down, and all's well that ends well. And that's it. It's a great show. It's
How
crazy.
many seasons?
Oh, it's just one. Just a limited season.
Okay.
Limited series, 8, 10 episodes, something short, not long at all.
Okay.
Good little story. You can finish in a weekend.
Easy to digest.
Easy to digest. Probably easier than me explaining all of it. I was just really excited to talk about it. Sorry that I jumped around all over the place, guys. But yeah, so there we go.
That's Cassandra.
That's Cassandra. So
On Netflix?
definitely go check it out. It's probably more interesting than I made it sound. I just wanted to talk about it. But
It is on Netflix?
it is on Netflix. It is Cassandra on Netflix.
Right.
It's a Netflix original, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, that's all I've got. You have anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, well.
Well, thank you for the recommendation.
Yes.
And the full rundown.
Not a problem at all. Yeah.
Probably will still watch it. That does sound interesting.
Yeah, it's a crazy show, and there's so much more that I didn't talk about, obviously. I just went over some of the main points to carry you through the storyline, but yeah.
If anything else, or if nothing else, Michaela hasn't heard any of this.
Also true. So there you go. You
there's a
guys can
surprise for
enjoy
her.
it together, and you'll know a little bit of what's going on, and there will probably still be some parts that you're like, whoa, he didn't mention that. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, that was all over the place. And that was 40 minutes. I'm probably going to cut a lot of that down. So you guys will see that isn't 40 minutes.
Yeah. So maybe slightly less spoilers.
Yeah, probably
anticipated.
less spoilers. And I'll just carry it along so it carries the storyline and just what's absolutely necessary.
That's going to be fun for you to figure out how to, or what to cut.
Yeah.
But at least we're not in crunch time this week.
We're not in crunch time, so I've got some time to play around with it. By the time you guys see this, that'll be so much shorter than 40, and you'll look back and you'll be like, whoa, he talked for an extra whatever amount of minutes. I would have never listened to that. Anyways. Anyways, so yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. You have anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, fantastic.
For now.
For now. Well,
Until next week.
there we go. So, yeah, all in all,
That was Awk Awe.
so it was.
Bye, my
Bye,
friends.
my friends.